All right, we should be live. Oh, and of course, construction equipment just started up, so we'll hopefully have that go away in a second. Hopefully you can hear me all right. Got a new setup today with a microphone and everything, and get this thing to look at me. There we go. Hopefully that equipment's going to disappear. I see everyone joining. Welcome. Happy Tuesday or Monday, depending on where we are here outside Minneapolis, Minnesota, with a 2017 Lexus GX 460. Sorry, I'm trying to get this stabilized looking at me. Thank goodness the here outside Minneapolis, Minnesota. Going to talk about the 20 from your lawn. Throw some questions in the comments as we go along. I will do my best to answer them, and we'll have a chat. So here we go. Let's get this thing to turn around. There we go. There is the topic of discussion, the 2017 Lexus GX 460. So, first things first, what is this? This is a body-on-frame SUV, old school in that way. It is basically a re-skinned Toyota Prado, which we do not get here. Somewhat related to the 4Runner, same or similar platform, similar engine lineup and all that. But it is not the 4Runner per se. It is the Prado, which of course we don't get here. It's a Toyota vehicle outside the US. Now, obviously, this is a Lexus styling. So we've got the current corporate Lexus face, the whatever you want to call that grill thing grafted on the front. Obviously, this vehicle, as it sits, was not designed for this grill, so it's been grafted onto the front end. It's quite a thing to behold. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, so there's that. We do have LED fog lights, LED HID headlights, and high beams and all of that. We do have all the safety tech you'd expect, adaptive cruise control, the camera system with surround view. We have parking sensors up front, headlight washers right there, turn signals on the mirrors. Now, again, this is a body-on-frame SUV. It's got real lip, isn't helping anything. So some of these things you're seeing is not stock. Spoiler up top, chrome exhaust on the side. One of the interesting things about this vehicle is the way the tailgate. It's a swing tailgate. It's a massive piece of metal. Look at that beefy arm down there. And what's interesting is towards traffic. So when you're parked at a curb to unload, you're now going to push this door open towards the curb, get your stuff out, and either have to shut this to go around it, or you're going to have to walk all the way around it. Not ideal at all. So that's that. Also, you can see up here, there's a very low liftover for an wasted space, and you're wondering, why is that wasted space there? And the reason is because it makes a flat load floor with the full flat third row seat. Now, of course, if they took away these in the US, and obviously a Prado abroad for the Toyota brand. So there's that as well. Also, a little compromised here with the rear struts and everything for the rear suspension. This juts into your cargo room. Hollow out, and they had plastic the whole. Third row is kind of useless. You can put kids back there to go to the grocery store. You're not going to put any sizable adult back there in any way, even for a cross-country jaunt. And of course, when you do fold the third row up, you pretty much cut your cargo room down. Pretty killer. In here we got a toolkit. That's nice. This does, like an old school body-on-frame SUV, you can open the tailgate glass. That's nice for reaching in real quick, especially since this folds out towards the curb. That's nice that you can just reach in there. I like that. So from the rear, it's not bad looking, honestly. It's a little heavy in this section right here, a little heavy, but it's not bad. We're running on Bridgestone Dueler HT tires. These are 18, so P260. These, of course, again, are part of the... also, we've got these running boards, which, again, are nice. They're not bad looking. Some interesting aero elements you're going to find right here. So you got wind. I think these are for, like, the wind turbulence as you're going down the road. You got that. You have a nice swooping three-dimensionalness of this. This is to help deflect air around. And then back here, these are... it's hard to tell, but you can see they've got this shape here, right? And it follows the fender, but this actually helps aero as well as you're going down the road. And then there's this line that you definitely can't see in the video. Then this line follows all the way around that's nice for aero as well. You do have chrome crossbar. You got your roof rails up here, but you don't have cross members. You can buy those, obviously. So up front, again, is the most controversial piece of this vehicle. So here's the deal. You know what? We'll go through the rest of this, and then I'll answer some questions, and I'll tell you some of my thoughts after spending some time with it. We'll start in the rear seat. Rear seat, I got 2 kid seats in the back here. These are captain's chairs. A high back 5-point booster seat for my 3-year-old, and then over here, of course, you have a rear-facing car seat for my 1-year-old. Plenty of room. This is how I sit at 5'10". This seat is matched up with this seat, so 5'10" adult, no problem with even 3-zone climate control, so you can set up the controls down there for that. No pano roof, just a regular sunroof. The doors, these are nice. Soft touch up here, soft touch everything. Real wood right there. You can see right here. Again, body on frame SUV, meant for off-road for your easy entry Lexus. So you've got soft touch uppers, real wood. Seats are very comfortable. Not thick, but comfortable. Leather is not heated up here, not heated down here. So you're definitely going to want to be holding it here, which where you should be holding steering wheel, stability control, headlight washers, etc. Interesting thing here, and it's not important, but it's interesting. So you've got automatic mirrors. You could fold them in. The car's not on, it's not going to work. So you can fold them in automatically, and then you've got them off. But it doesn't auto fold when you turn off the vehicle. You can manually fold them. You can keep them open, but you can't auto fold them. That's nice. Everything, again, is soft touch dash upper. This is the stack in the center stack. Lots of buttons, which is great. We like buttons for the passenger. So we're going to start this thing up. And when it starts up, and I don't know if you're going to be able to hear this, it's very interesting. It's very much like the Land Cruiser and the LX 570, where it kind of takes this big gulp of air through the intake, and it sounds kind of like a dragon roaring or a lion waking up. Hang on. I don't know if you heard that, but again, it's very unique and characteristic of the Land Cruiser and the LX 570, where when you start it up, the intake sucks in this massive gulp of air, and you can just hear it go. It's really cool. I mean, I think it's cool. So interesting stuff here. You got your gauge cluster, your drive select. This tells you your height of your air suspension right there. I don't know how well you can see this. I'm trying. There we go. So this is your height of your air suspension right there. Over here, you're gonna have all your safety systems, blind spot monitoring is right there. It does have adaptive cruise control with a radar. We're using radar. It has the blind spot monitoring, it has lane departure warning, all the safety systems you expect in a luxury vehicle. Now over here, we have what you would consider a dated, old infotainment system by Lexus standards. This is not the current Lexus system. It looks like the Lexus system as far as the layout, but the way it operates, it doesn't have that stupid mouse down here, which I think is frankly unsafe for driving almost. This is all touchscreen, which is great. The downside of having the old system, despite having a newer layout, is it's not a high-res screen. So the screen is old and dated, but the fact that this touchscreen has all these buttons is fantastic. So mixed bag here. I really like this. I would live with the dated non-high-res screen for the fact that I don't have the dumb mouse that I think is frankly a little dangerous while driving. All the buttons here for your climate control. Interesting note here, we do have dual zone climate control. Actually, we have tri-zone climate control for the back too. But what happens is if I bring up the climate system, you can't actually sync them. Most cars you can sync the passenger and driver side and even the rear if it's tri-zone, so that if you're alone and it's just me, that if I change the temp to 70, it would then change it to 70 over here. You can't do that in this car, and that's odd. I mean, it's not really a thing, it's just odd. Again, it's got a similar layout to the regular Lexus systems of the new cars, but this is a dated screen, doesn't have the touch, it has all touch screen, which is great. Real wood trim for the most part everywhere. Trying to get down here, view down here. So you've got a 2 USB ports down here, if you can see that. Here. 2 USB ports. There we go. Oh. Hang on. There we go. 2 USB ports. Oh, sorry. 2 USB ports down here, 12-volt outlet down there. We do have heated and cooled seats on both sides in the front. So over here is your command central, right? So you've got your crawl speed for going up and down hills, and got down here is your 4-wheel drive. It's automatically in high. Then you can go low. Trying to get the focus on there. Not sure why it's not. Then over here you've got your air suspension. Then over here you've got your adaptive struts, which is kind of silly. Sport mode, normal mode, comfort mode. I played with all three. Not a huge difference. Again, this is a body-on-frame SUV, and so you're not gonna. I mean, you notice a little difference in sport versus comfort. Comfort smooths it out a little. Sport definitely firms it up a little. But these are, you've got air suspension. That's not what's changing here. This is just your electronic shocks, and so that's just changing the firmness. And yeah, 2 big US-sized cup holders right here. Interesting little design thing here. Let me see if I can get the camera to turn here. So it slides independent. That's kind of cool. And it opens up like this. So there's that. What else do we have to show you? Again, not a pano roof, just a regular roof. I dig. So let's talk about the engine here for a second. Let's shut this down. Show the engine. It's a 4.6 liter V8, making only 301 horsepower. Not a lot of power out of a 4.6 liter V8 engine. Being a Lexus, of course, not a lot to show you here. It's pretty much all plastic, right? Power's fine. 7.8 seconds, 0 to 60 in that range. Not very impressive. Again, not really what it's meant for. And the 6-speed automatic transmission it's connected to is really smooth. I like it. In fact, I like it a lot better than most. 8 speeds are pretty good. 9 speeds are pretty much a disaster. 10 speeds are just coming on board. And this 6 speed is really good. It really shows you that you don't need more than 6 speeds. Great question. How is this a 2016 car? Well, it's not a 2016. It's a 2017, despite the fact. Look, it's there's no bones about it. This is a body-on-frame SUV. It is off-road capable. It can do things that no owner is ever going to do with it. But the issue is that, like I said, no owner is ever going to do anything like this. You take this to Starbucks, which is what you do with an RX. So, interesting notes here. I averaged about 22 miles per gallon on the highway, which is way more than it's rated. I think it's rated about 18 or 19 on the highway. Rated about 22 on the highway is what I averaged. About 16, 17 around town, which is pretty terrible. But again, body on frame SUV with a V8. Takes premium gas. So here's the deal. I've driven this about 400 miles in the last week. And here's the thoughts. I've never driven a GX somehow in my life. Don't know how I ever got this far without doing that. People have told me they love this vehicle despite it being stupid. Here's the thing. I got into this thing and I was like, it's kind of ugly and whatever. Now that I spent a week with it, I kind of fallen in love with it for all the wrong reasons. I've fallen in love with this thing because it's old school. I've fallen in love with the fact because it has buttons. It has a touchscreen infotainment display. It has a V8. It has almost... I fell in love with it because it's not a modern vehicle. I fell in love with it because it's ancient. And that's what's interesting. Now, I wish that I wouldn't get the styling package so that you don't have the front end as low as you do here with this little extra thing right there. Corporate current Lexus Predator grille thing, because it just doesn't fit what this vehicle was designed for originally. I wish that this back here would swing towards the street, not towards the side. You want luxury. You don't want something as big as the LX or as horrific as gas mileage as that has. It's a useful vehicle, especially if you want something like a 4Runner, but you want more luxury. This is nice. A 4Runner's got pretty horrific plastic inside of it on this dashboard. This is a nice car. Now, pricing. This is $69,000 as it sits. Not cheap. Not cheap at all. But let me see if I can get... I got the window sticker here for you. So 18 miles per gallon on the highway, bad. 69,920 as it seems, the body kit and all that. I would skip that. The driver support package gives you the Mark Levinson sound system, the high beams and the LED headlights and all that stuff. That's pretty much the options this thing has right now. So I would opt for a $1 design package, which would bring you down to about, what, say 68 grand. You think about what else you're gonna spend 68 grand on that can be very comfortable, and I dig that. I can appreciate the fact that it's so capable despite its appearance. It's growing on me. $69,000 is a lot of money. So the running board's really got to go. That really kills it. And maybe if you stick some BFGs, some all-terrains on this thing, that'd be pretty cool. You just got to remember that what this thing is capable of. If you're buying this to go around to Starbucks, that's a bit silly. If I bought this, I'd tow boats with it. That's not silly. It's a Toyota Prado, which we can't get here, which is actually pretty cool because Toyota Prado is kind of cool. So old school. If you want something that's old school, you want something without the current Lexus infotainment system, you want something that has modern safety tech, blind spot monitoring, adaptive cruise control, all that, this fits that bill nicely. I'm sure it's going to be updated at some point, which means, of course, it'll get the horrific Lexus infotainment system, of course. So we like it. We like the powertrain. TCC, the car connection, gives it a rating of 6.6 out of 10. Obviously, old platform, ride quality, packaging kind of give it some dings, but that's kind of the platform it's on, and that's what it's going to be. Definitely drop some more questions in the comments. I've seen a few of them. Most of you seem to agree that it's not the prettiest vehicle in the world, but it's obviously capable, and it's cool that it's old school. And I think that's the real takeaway here. This is an old school SUV in 2017, and that's kind of cool if that's what you want. There aren't that many of those left. And that's kind of where we're at. Really appreciate everyone watching and tuning in on this Tuesday after Memorial Day. Thank you for watching, and we will be back with more. Of course, Facebook doesn't want to let us end. Facebook doesn't want us to leave you. And we will leave you with that. Thank you, everyone.